August by Taylor Swift should sound something like this. Now, obviously, I'm not going to sing because I don't sound like Taylor Swift. But before we get going, please make sure you've got a capo. It looks something like this, or you can have a different one like that. But it needs to be at your 3rd fret or the song won't work. Now, I'm going to take you through the chords. This is a really nice song if you're still new to guitar and you're just going through the basic chords. I'm going to guide you through the steps now, one by one. And your first chord up is D, finger 1. 2nd fret after the capo, so your capo is over here, replacing the nut which is at the end over here. So this is your new fret 1, this is your new fret number 2. So finger 1, fret 2, 3rd string from the bottom, 1, 2, 3. Middle finger number 2, your 2nd finger, middle finger is on the 1st string 2nd fret. And then you're bringing your ring finger, notice my fingers are numbered to help, onto the 2nd string from the bottom. So there's your D chord. From there we're going to go to G, finger 1 goes to the 5th string from the bottom, middle finger to the top, and then your ring finger goes to the bottom string. Now for those of you that might know G like this, in other words you're using fingers 3 and 4, I would favour this one, but I'm quite happy with that as well. And just up close for those that aren't sure, normally ring finger there, with the other version of G, ring fingers on the 2nd string and the pinkies on the 1st. All in the 3rd fret. That's my G. E minor is nice and easy. Fingers 1 and 2 both in the 2nd fret on strings 5 and 4. And lastly, A. Now, the general way to play A is normally fingers 1, 2 and 3 in sequence from strings 4, 3 and 2, all in the 2nd fret. But I've got little fat fingers, so I prefer to swap fingers 1 and 2 around like this. Whichever way you like, I'm cool with that. And the advantage of this one of playing A is when I go back to D, my 1st finger doesn't move. But lots of guitar players still prefer this. Okay, so you've got the chords. Let's look at the rhythm pattern. So we need to focus on your strumming hand. Now you're welcome to use a pick if you want to, so you can do this. For this song, I prefer fingers personally for no real reason. It just feels nice for me strumming with fingers, but whatever's good for you, I'm cool with that as long as you've got your strumming under control. Very important when you play D though, only strum 4 strings. When you play the G, strum all 6. Same as for the E minor, all 6. And for the A chord, only 5 strings. So please keep that in the back of your mind that you don't accidentally strum too many strings, especially for the D chord. Okay, now onto the rhythm pattern. I'm going to put my pick down and I'm going to use fingers now. I like strumming with my 1st finger like this. So my 1st finger is doing basically the most movement. So my rhythm pattern would look like this. And you can see the fingers moving quite fast. And if you use a pick, the both sound pretty cool. But anyway, let's take you through it. Your strumming pattern is on the PDF. Now, if you don't have a copy of the PDF by now, just drop me a WhatsApp quick and I'll send it through to you. Or please feel welcome to send me a message via YouTube channel and I'll be happy to email you the PDF as well if you like. On the rhythm pattern, we're going to do it in little sections. So we're going to start down, down, up, down, which if we were to count, we'd rather go 1 and 2 and 3. And the important lesson over here is that if you're strumming on the numbered counts, the 1, the 2, the 3, it's always a downstroke. If you're strumming on the ands, it's always an upstroke. So 1 is down and is up, 2 is down and is up, 3 is down and is up when there's an arrow there, obviously. So it gives your hand a natural rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 there. It develops its own rhythm. That's what we're going for. So the first part, down, down, up, down, or 1 and 2 and 3. Now we're going to add on the 4 and. So it's now going to go like the slow motion. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Want to play it with me? 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then after that we switch to upstrokes. And 2 and 3. So we need to get those little offbeats there which make the rhythm work well. So now we're going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Want to try it with me? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you finish off with a very quick down up at the end, which you'll see under the 4 and that will take you to the end of the strumming pattern, which means we go to the next chord, G. Now I'm going to take it once through with a pick as well, just for those that are using a pick so you don't feel left out. And let's take it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Now it should be a little bit quicker. We should have something like this. And then you continue to change. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it through once slowly, and I want you to play it through with me, and let's see how it goes. Are we ready? Got your D in place? D, G, E minor, A. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you haven't quite got to that speed yet, depending where your level is, break it down into small sections slowly. So something like this, for example. Notice when I'm changing, my thumb that's busy waving at you now doesn't move. That's part of the secret on good chord changes, because if my thumb moves, my hand moves with it, and then my fingers have to counteract, or compensate rather than counteract, compensate for the movement of my hand. So try and keep your thumb, find its sweet spot. Some people like the thumb a bit lower, that's cool, that's fine. But when you're changing, don't move your thumb. First get your D and G ready, then you get your D, G or E minor, and then slowly but surely build up till you can do all 4 chords. Now this song is only 4 chords the whole way through, which makes it a really cool song for singing along, just having fun with your mates, and to get some basic important chords under wraps. Now there are a few changes. If you're playing along with the YouTube channel, you'll notice that about 50 seconds into the song, there's a slight difference in the dynamic. When we say dynamic is, this is strumming loud, etc, etc. You'll notice that the whole vibe, the whole dynamic, the whole volume goes quieter. So you want to try and control that volume, so it's a nice exercise in how to play loud and soft. Nice and quiet. Triangle back. And then when you need to go loud, you then push it. So your choruses, keep them nice and loud. Your verses, keep them nice and quiet. And I think there's one part as well where it just goes one strum, 2 and 3 and 4, and there's a part somewhere along the song where they actually just do that. But what I'm going to do now once is I'm going to play it through a quiet verse, and then I'm going to go to a loud chorus and then to a quiet verse. But I'm only going to play each cycle once. So once through D, G, E minor, A, quiet. Then D, G, E minor, A, loud, and then quiet, just to get used to the dynamic, getting used to strumming quietly and loudly, but not fast and slower. So as I go louder, I'm not necessarily speeding up. Okay, quiet one first, one cycle through, D, G, E minor, A, and then without stopping, I'm just going to go louder. Let's see if we can keep this up with me. 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now the hassle over the pick, it's very unforgiving. It normally is loud and louder, where if you use your fingers, you get much more control over dynamic. Listen to the quiet now. Nice and quiet. See, your fingers give you that control. And that's why I preferred fingers for this one, and loud. So you've got to push and pull on your volume, and you go quiet. So try and learn to control that dynamic, your loud and quiet parts for the song, without going faster or slower. I notice sometimes when we go loud, it's natural to want to go faster. But that's the key to make the song successful. So try and get your volume control. Try for fingers if those are using pick. For this song, I would recommend it. Just a suggestion, but either way, that's it. And I hope you enjoy August. It's a really cool song. It's a fun song. And have a good week. Take care. Cheers.